Hey everyone, my name is Sean Cecil from the Oculus Institute, and today I'm going to teach you how to beat ADD. One thing we've seen a lot in recent years is we've seen the rise of diagnoses of ADD and ADHD. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a medical doctor, but I can prove to you guys pretty quickly that 95 to 99% of these are actually bullshit. And here's how. Right? If you take somebody who's diagnosed with ADD or ADHD and you put them in a situation where they have to focus on something for 4 hours or 5 hours, and in exchange they'll get $10 million, the vast majority of them are going to be able to do it. The few people who can't do it, no matter how valuable the outcome is, they just can't sit and focus for that period of time, those people legitimately have ADD or ADHD. But the vast majority of human beings who think that they have the inability to focus, it's not really the inability to focus, it's a clash of values where they're not interested and not motivated to focus, right? So there are a couple ways that this can happen, right? One is obviously the bigger the outcome, the more you value what it is that you're doing, the more likely you are to focus. I mean, if you're a mom watching her kids in a position where they're playing somewhere where it could be dangerous, she's going to have laser focus. She's going to be all in. She's going to be 100% focused. Diagnoses be damned. But most people, when they go to work and these things that they say they have ADD, they spend most of their time doing something that they don't value. So if you're at work and you're doing something you don't value, then unsurprisingly, you're not going to direct your focus towards it, because as human beings, we don't like to direct our focus towards things that make us unhappy, right? So one big way that you can beat ADD or ADHD is to do something that you actually enjoy, that feels like fun. As Alan Watts would say, find a way where you get paid to play, and then you don't have a problem with focus. And this is the thing is, most people who say, oh, I just can't focus, I just can't focus, I just can't focus. If you take them and you put them in a situation where they're doing something they enjoy, that's fun, then suddenly they have no problem focusing. They have no problem being, intensely engaged in whatever it is that they really like to do, right? So, many times this is it's just a mismatch between your authentic values and the way that, what you're actually doing on a daily basis. The other root cause that can apply to a lot of people when they're talking about ADD and ADHD is that they can be in a position where, they've got so many things going on in their head, so many things that they're stressing about, that it's like a computer where you have 73 tabs open and 4 of them are playing music and 2 of them are playing videos and you don't know where it's coming from, right? And the problem there is fundamentally not that you're incapable of focusing, it's that you've tasked the mental machinery of your mind to do too many different things, right? And what you've got to do is you've got to go in and you've got to actually discard tasks that your mind is thinking about. You have to consciously stop caring and consciously detach from some of these other tasks. So for example, if you're stressing about what you said to somebody 2 weeks ago and there's nothing you can do about it, you don't need to be replaying that loop in your head, right? That's just another tab with the music on that's confusing you, right? So this is kind of where you have to take a step back and realize that if this thing is a robot, your body may be the form of the robot and your mind is the programming of the robot, but you are the programmer who programs the software that runs the robot. And you have to start going in and taking out those scripts that aren't serving you, that are chewing up mental energy, and closing out those tabs. And I mean, I've had clients who came to me and they were medicated, they were on Ritalin, they said, oh, I have ADD, Sean, I have to take this medication or I can't focus. And then they would go through this process of going in and doing this examination and closing the tabs and dissolving the stress, and then they would get off of their medication and actually be more productive than they used to be, right? Without taking any kind of medicine for it. Because the root problem wasn't really that they had ADD. The root problem wasn't that they had ADHD. It was that they were doing things that they didn't value and they were letting their brain get tasked with all these, random stress scenarios that they didn't need to be involved in and that they didn't need to devote mental energy to. And they had basically been careless and left their brain to just do whatever it's going to do without any kind of supervision or any kind of cleanup. And when they took that under control, then they were able to create an entire new mental paradigm for themselves, and they were able to break out of this diagnosis that was holding them back and get rid of these pills, which were functionally the equivalent of speed, of methamphetamine. They were able to get rid of that because the real problem wasn't biochemical, it was in their mind and in their soul. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to learn more about career planning, getting out of a burnout job, or creating a career that truly fulfills you, then I've got a free comprehensive video laying out the process. All you need to do is go to the link below, www.oculusinstitute.com/workshop, and sign up to get access to the free presentation. See you on the other side.